Good morning and welcome to Marty's Tying Bench. I'm putting together Vice Squad kits, and this session we're going with the evil twins. This is the Ninja Warrior, the evil twin to the Rainbow Warrior. So, it's always good to have a very small, dark Mayfly in your box, since when the Mayflies mature and get ready to emerge, they tend to darken up quite a bit. And this one's pretty indestructible. I've added a little bit of wire, which isn't present in the Rainbow Warrior. I'm going to want a little bit of a hotspot, so I'm going to use red thread like I do on the Rainbow Warrior. You could use purple, or stick with black. Now I've got some pheasant tail that I've dyed black, and I'm just going to get, I don't know, 3 to 5 fibers, depends on where you are on the pheasant tail. Now, this is really hard to tie in the back, so what I'm going to do is make my tie-in point up here in the front, and then kind of judge the length of my tail. Now I can come back with a thread, and all I've got to do is keep the fibers on top. I want this fly to have a little bit of a tuck posture, so I'm going to go down the bend just a little bit. Before I come forward, I'm going to tie in some wire. It's regular ultra wire in black, and I'm using small. I would use extra small, but that kind of ends up blending in, and it does a fine job of keeping the mylar in place, but I want this to actually stand up and be a rib. So for the body material, we're going to use Flashabou. You can use Crystal Flash. Crystal Flash might even be a little easier to handle than this Flashabou, but this is handy and pretty slick. So I'm just going to get 2 strands, and I'm going to double them around just for convenience. So now I've got 4 strands. Now I want just a tiny bit of taper, so I'm going to flatten my thread out if I need to and build it up here. And that would also help keep this bead from being able to slide back along the hook. We'll do that mostly with the dubbing. So come forward. If your turn is behind the wire, it will self-correct any stray strand of Flashabou. And just keep your eye on it and keep it nice and flat. There you go. I made a few extra turns so I can trim this with confidence that I'm not going to accidentally bump this and watch it turn into a little mylar spring. So, small sized black wire. You see how that stands away from the body? It makes this look an awful lot like a biot body. Good looking segmentation. Okay, now at this point I want to check my bead, because it tends to want to jump around and get lopsided, so I'm going to make sure this is centered. Just want to get a little bit of ice dub, and I mean just a little bit. Going to make the first couple turns, let the thread slide down right behind the bead. There you go. That's all it takes to make it the same diameter as the hook, and now that bead's not going to go back. Be real careful if you can. You can sink that thread down, but ultimately I'm going to have a few extra wraps, unnecessary for any purpose except for to show some red. So there we have it, the evil twin ninja warrior.